So I'm going to talk about what is gamification and how it helps organizations and people achieve their goals. Okay, how did I get here? Why am I speaking to you? I was born and raised in Thessaloniki. I studied computer science, which I didn't love. I didn't love coding. Don't sue. Sorry. Yeah, then I moved to Brighton in the UK. Nice place, very nice place. I studied business management. I did a postgrad. It was an MSc. It was there that I met Pete Jenkins, who is my boss now. Pete is teaching in the University of Brighton, gamification and business management. So I chose his elective. Basically, I asked him, will I get to build a game? He told me yes, and I said, okay, that's it. He told me that he wants to do a project over the summer. It was an application to train managers, quite interesting. Let's hope we will actually develop it at some point. So this 3-month project turned into a full-time job. By the end of the summer, he told me, I want you to work full-time with me. So that's what I do now. I work full-time for Pete and Gamification Plus. That's the name of the company. So what we do is consulting, speaking and training on gamification only. He's very happy that he's only working in gamification now. So consulting is basically when a business wants to do a gamification project, they have some goals and they come to us and ask us, what's the best solution for it. We give them a range of options and they go or not go with one of them. And they pay us some money to basically come up with some solutions for them. Speaking, mainly Pete, I'm starting now to slowly build my speaking skills. But my boss speaks in big conferences abroad. He gets paid to do it, which is quite nice. And training, we do a lot of training courses, workshops. I'm running my own workshop in the UK at the moment. That has to do with strategy in companies. It's a gamified workshop. It's quite fun. So that's what the company does. We are really looking into building a product and have something to sell along our other services, but it's going to be a bit later on. So, what's gamification? The use of game elements and game techniques in non-game situations. Okay, so what this guy said is, what if we apply game techniques and what motivates people in games in a business environment? What if we try to make our everyday life, our everyday workspace, work life, whatever it is, a bit more fun? So this guy said, okay, let's take what's best in games and put it into our everyday lives. How can we bring in this fun and engaging time we have with games in our everyday lives? That's the basic premise of gamification. That's the idea behind it. And that's why so many businesses and people are interested in it. And not just business, but organizations like the United Nations. Yeah, that's a nice quote from Mary Poppins. She basically says that if you find what's fun in the job, you turn it into a game. And I think it sums up what gamification is all about very nicely in one sentence. From a very well-known pop culture reference, So let's look at this guy who has certainly found the way to make running fun.
It's gonna fall at some point. Right?
Okay. So, what what he's done is basically gamify his running. I'm really bored when I work out, and I don't work out. So I don't know how many of you are bored when you work out. Let's raise hands, all of you. Okay. Most of you. I don't work out, and that's why, because I'm really bored. So this guy has found a way to gamify his running. Okay, he's having fun. He's having fun with something which is boring. And this is the whole problem. This is not a game, actually. You know this is not exactly a game. But he's having fun with something which is really boring. Okay, I found it extremely boring to go to the gym and work out. So let's see some more examples of how do you think in gamification? How do games work? That's the question that they asked themselves when they started building this whole gamification idea. Because again, they said, what's fun about games? What's fun in a good game? How can we take this? We need to analyze it, of course, first, and then apply it in different situations. So that's the main question that gamification asked first. How do games work? Let's see some. No?
Okay, this one's going to be difficult, I can tell.
And now there are chainsaws ready to make me into a hot dog. Avoid the chainsaw. Avoid the... Ew.
Now I don't want to get it. Ah!
I guess because I'm meat. Grinders are my enemy.
Ah! This is the most frustrating thing I've ever done.
Jump and go. These 15 minutes, I've gained so much respect for gamers.
No! Go! Oh my god! This level is impossible to beat.
Okay, who has played Super Meat Boy? Okay. How long did it take you to actually curse the game and say fuck you? How long? I think it took me like 10 minutes or something. Okay, but that was the whole fun behind the game. It was hard. It was really hard. That's the element of the game that was really compelling for people. It was really hard, so you said, I'm going to beat it. And when you actually beat the hard level that you played, 110 times over, then you felt so great. You just felt the best people in the world, really an epic win. So, hard fun is all about overcoming obstacles that you may think at first that you cannot overcome these obstacles. It's about, solving problems that seem to not have a solution at first, really difficult problems. And that's the fun in it. It sounds counterproductive, but it does work a lot in gamification. So basically you add a layer of complexity on things, and it does work. Easy fun. We talked about exploration. This game is Skyrim. This is a screenshot from Skyrim. Who has played Skyrim? Okay. Does anybody remember anything about the story in Skyrim?
Yes.
But that's not the main element of Skyrim. Let's be honest. The main element was actually exploring this vast world that the game designers gave you. They gave you a huge world with so many things in it. So many quests, so many creatures, so many dragons. So many things to kill, so many things to talk to.
Is that part of the story though? No.
It's not.
No, it's not the main story.
And that's the whole
it's a lot of
point.
stories actually.
That's the whole point. Every game has a core value. When you kind of boil down to it, you come down to one thing. So Super Meat Boy is about solving difficult problems. Okay, thinking out of the box kind of, and solving problems that you at first you're like, there's no fucking way I can beat this. But actually you get there. Skyrim is not about that, let's be honest. Skyrim is about, walking around the sea, dragons, somewhere there, and, going there and finding out a new territory and killing the dragon and, exploring vast worlds. So people fun, it's about keeping in touch with your friends. Because that's what you do, you give them gifts and they give you gifts back, they give you a cow, whatever it is. It's really silly for me, to be honest, but it does work. People want to communicate. They want to keep in touch with their friends and families. So you have people's fun. It's basically about the people. And you have serious fun. Okay, we can do that with our phones or laptops or whatever you got. So you can go online. You have the Wi-Fi? Does everybody have the Wi-Fi? Is everybody okay? You can go online on freerise.com. I'm going to do it on my phone. Come on. Come on. So what they do on this website is they basically want to make the world a better place. It's an English vocabulary game, so you kind of have to identify words. So it says pain, mean, sick, hurt. You know, you have to choose one. It's not really difficult, but that's not the point. The point is that for every right answer you give them, they donate 10 grains of rice in people that cannot, you know, they don't have food, basically. And they're fighting poverty and starvation through the game. So yes, let's talk about some game elements, some game mechanics that we use in gamification. So progress and feedback. Okay, games are perfect in giving feedback. You get feedback in everything you do. If you make the right choice and you do the right thing, you get sounds, you get graphics, you get animations, you know, whatever it is. If you beat a level, if you beat a boss, you know, you get levels, you get points, items, the whole lot. You actually get a lot of feedback in games. And in real life, not always. Most of us, you know, when you do something right in your job, your boss doesn't always say, hey, well done, you got a level, or you got, you know, more money or whatever. So feedback is something that games do really well. And gamification really looked into that. How does it work in games? How can we make it part of our everyday lives? So this example is Nike Plus. Nike Plus, do we all know Nike Plus? That it counts your steps, you know, for people that walk or work out, not us. So basically something which is quite nice is that they count how many miles or kilometers, whatever it is in your country, they count how many miles you walked. That has a very big effect on you. Because let's say you use it for 6 months or something, you're like, okay, actually, you know what, I walked quite a lot. And you feel better about yourself, you feel that, you know, you've achieved something. And it does give you feedback on, you know, how many miles you ran yesterday, the day before, you know, the week, the whole average, or whatever. So you basically what's happening here is you get feedback about the walking and exercise.
We had a zombie attack last night, and we're low on everything. We need whatever you can find. Get going.
Collected in bottles of water, a radio and epoxy batteries. 2.4 kilometers, 17 minutes.
Right in your tail. Don't look back. Zombies attacked a nearby farmhouse. The survivors are on the roof. We can't just leave them there to die. Something's going on in those labs. We need you to investigate. What you find could save lives. Even in the zombie plague, I'll have to go in alone.
5 kilometers, 29 minutes. Zombies detected.
It's spotted you. Run! Fine. Sit. You lost them. Come on home, Runner 5. One step closer to saving all of them.
A lot of zombies today. So themes and storytelling are a big tool for game designers. How many games have you played that actually you first heard about the story? You know, somebody told you that the story is great. I just finished the game, Creatures Such as We, on my phone, which is just text. It's just a story and some, you know, some options along the way. You make some choices, and the story changes and so forth. But it was just text. I had so much fun. I played it on the plane for 3 hours straight. It was great, and there was no graphics, nothing. There was nothing. It was just a good story, because people actually want to hear good stories. And this example is Zombies Run. It's an app that gamifies running again. But I think it's much more than Nike Plus because it gives you all the data, how many miles you walk, etc., etc. But it does give you a story. The more you run, the more you find out about the story of Zombies Run. And believe it or not, actually really well-known writers write for Zombies Run, and they get a lot of money for it. So you have quests and you have missions and you have to walk this many miles to get items as you. So but for me it's really interesting that the more you walk, the more you find out about the story. So there's a whole story why it's a zombie apocalypse, and why did it happen, who is responsible, what's happening, your team is on the run, etc. Watching that kind of story and theme. So themes and storytelling, big thing for gamification.
Experience and control the forces of nature. Download and play Quest for Oil, provided by Maersk.
But when they made this game, nobody knew who Maersk was, basically. And they had a huge problem recruiting. They could not recruit engineers for the oil rigs they had. So they made a game to actually advertise the company and people find out about the company, and then they found people through the game, and that's how they improved the recruiting process a lot by building this game. I think they have 2 or 3 versions of it now. But the initial goal was how do we let people know that we exist, basically. Because nobody knew who they were and they could not recruit engineers. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you. One final thing before the questions. This is a kind of team, group, Greek Gamification Network that the guys from Athens made on LinkedIn and Facebook. Anyone that is interested will just go there and chat about things, news in the gamification industry, papers, research, anything, videos.